So what did you make of the safety play on Saturday? Obviously, I know you knew the guys who were out there the most, but just kind of where did you maybe see them even grow from what they've done in the past?
Yeah, the guys played hard. They're used to being in that position of having a mindset of winning on defense, and they're used to every move they make being crucial to our success. So I think I just saw a resolve and a leadership that I've seen before, but in a different setting, which was obviously awesome to see. Leading a different group of people, which takes time, and they've done a good job developing that leadership with those guys.
Kyle Peterson falls on that fumble. I mean, that's a tough play because so many times you see the ball scored out from, under 15-year vets. For him as a freshman to not just pounce on it, but to keep it under control. I mean, what does that kind of speak to how advanced he is as a safety, just as a 18-year-old kid?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be perfect in that situation. Otherwise, the ball is being punted, and it's a different deal. So his poise as a young kid is remarkable. He's done a really good job, being a sponge, as we've kind of talked about quite a bit, of just picking things up with the defense, but also with technique and the littlest of things, right? We pick up fumbles every day. You get 2 or 3 a day, and he don't miss very many. That's a tough skill to develop, and he does a good job focusing on the little things, which it shows up on Saturdays.
After the game on Saturday, we asked Coach Rogers about, I think it was Caleb Franzel, if he was impressed by anything that he saw out of him in that game, and he's like, no, because he had gotten used to, so much of that same production at SDSU. I'm wondering, what sort of new things have you seen out of this safety group that maybe you didn't see in years past?
Man, not a ton, because we've been through so much together with those guys, and they've been battle tested against really every opponent that you could imagine. But I'll kind of go back to how I answered the first question, is just a level of leadership and cool, calm collectedness, in just making sure that we stayed the course. When a lot of times, it hasn't been the culture to win on defense in these colors. So I'm unbelievably proud of those guys and just how they attacked the situation that they were put in. So.
When asked about the offensive guy that you've had to go up against in practice, Jeremiah No-Guy, what's been the challenge of him, having you guys guard him in practice and fall camp?
Yeah, I mean, the physical stuff of he's big and long and he catches the football, but also that he's an experienced guy, he's crafty, and he's tough. That's the one thing that maybe stood out right away to me when he got here was, man, that Noga kid is pretty tough. He's a receiver, but he's not afraid to go mix it up. So that's definitely been the thing that I think is maybe pushed him into the position that he's in right now, above just being able to catch football and run the right route.
Coach Rogers talked a lot about the fact that the defense to the mentality was right. They weren't blaming the offense. They were just going out there and doing their jobs. How much of that leadership comes from your safety room and from their ability to hold each other accountable and to keep the dialogue positive?
I think it just goes back to our expectation as a defense, regardless of what the situation is. Whether we would have had the same mindset if the offense would have put up 50 points. And it is to go out every drive and keep points off the board. Bobby said it the best last night, where it was just a mindset of it doesn't matter the situation, whether things are going good or things are not going great, and we got to kind of base up. But what makes the difference in being able to do that is it's never changing. The attitude is always the same no matter what the situation is.
Now that you're kind of in the flow of the season, going quickly from game to game, how helpful is it to have this continuity, to have this familiarity with each other, so that you can not only hold your players accountable, but hold each other as a staff accountable?
Yeah, it's huge, because there's a lot of same as. There's a lot of remember this type teaching where the guys have seen themselves do it right, and we have, as a defensive staff, been together through all of this. We've seen a lot of different things, and we can fall back on what worked, what didn't. We're not trying to explain things to each other that maybe we haven't been on the same page on. It's the continuity is huge for us.
And who is Jesse as a leader for you as a staff? Obviously, we've talked a lot about him as a person, but when you get into this game week, does anything change, or is it still the same old Jesse?
No, I mean obviously there's an intensity about him when it needs to be intense. When we're watching film in the meeting room, when we're game planning, what pressure, what we're stunts, what coverage to run. But there is always the element of keeping things relatively light so we can all have fun, we can all enjoy ourselves while we do the thing that we love with the people that we get along with. And that's maybe the thing that obviously pushes us over the top as a defensive staff and as an offensive staff, is that we're doing it for each other as the collective players, staff, kind of everybody. But Coach Bobbitt's a huge part of that. Being able to fire you up when you need to be fired up, but also be able to keep it light when it needs to be kept light.